Hello everybody, this is just a quick demonstration with regards to dowsing. I'm going to start off first of all by using a dowsing pendulum. Now these can work differently for all of us, but we do have certain specific commands that we use with them. So I'm just going to use a very small carnelian one, just so it's really giving more of a colour than anything else to show up. So I'm going to ask it first of all to give me a yes response, which for me is backwards and forwards. I'm then going to ask it to give me a no response. So as you can see, it starts to change direction for me. I'm then going to ask it to give me a don't know response, which for me is just a small circle that goes on, as you can see. And then I ask it to give me a danger sign. Now for me, this literally just feels like it's tugging my hand and sort of moving it down. But this gives a bit of an idea for like a question and answer aspect of things, should you need to. I also use it very, very much to direct the energy from the crystal down to another crystal for a cleansing point of view. So let me just grab one that tends to live in my summer house. So this is just a nice simple quartz crystal. So by directing the energy, I'm actually just asking it if this crystal needs any form of cleansing, particularly at the moment, to which this is responding, yes it does. So I'm going to ask the pendulum to just move however it needs to move to be able to bring forward that cleansing to it. So I've deliberately used one of the crystals that live out here in my summer house, knowing that this, due to temperatures more than anything else, will not have had any work or cleansing done to it for probably at least 4 or 5 months. So as you can see, the pendulum is just, as I'm just moving my hand along it, is just slowing down in certain areas as it has directed all that is needed to be directed at this quartz bed. And it's just coming to a lovely halt. There are no hard and fast rules as far as I'm concerned when it comes to pendulums. We are a particular type of creature here that is drawn to whatever it's drawn to. I have several different ones that I will use. This is a Super 7 with just a simple chakra link there to just bring all the colours of the spectrum in for that particular point. It hasn't been polished, it's just, as you can see, it's just very, very beautiful rough crystal. The one that I've just used, the carnelian, has just got a plain chain on it with a carnelian topper. And then we've got the beautiful carnelian cut pendulum, completely polished, completely carved. Now the other way that we can work in exactly the same manner as these is pretty much anything that is on a chain and will be able to just move freely can be used as a pendulum. I could use my necklace for exactly the same point if I wish to. I've got something here called a tincture next to me, which are basically symbols of energy, but by just suspending one just simply, it would be possible to give this the same direction, and it will just move exactly the same as a pendulum does, because it has the same technique going on with it. So as I say, no hard and fast rules. You can literally use whatever you feel like using if you wish to work in this manner. The other way round of working is to use yourself as a pendulum. Now, to do this to a certain degree, you become what I'm going to refer to as mindless. So you're turning off the brain and you're working totally with your high heart area. So you're allowing your very soul spark and essence to guide you rather than the brain to tell you. I've always found mindlessness quite easy, but I'm aware that some people have been so programmed here that it is a difficult thing to do for them. So give it a try and see how it kind of works for you. I personally prefer to use my right hand. I can use the whole of my body, but it is just easier to just use my right hand. That way round, if I'm weighing up the pros and cons, for instance, of two almost identical products when I'm out shopping, if I haven't already felt it energetically which one to move to, I can use my hand to get a yes/no answer for each one. It may be, if I can't make that decision, that both of them are wrong and I'm barking up the wrong tree, should we say. So I simply just put my hand flat, palm down. I haven't awoken the chakras, I haven't done anything with it whatsoever, but I just ask it to just move for me. So it will just start generally moving. So it usually starts with me, as you can see, but it is just simply just moving around and finding its point of balance. If I then need to ask it a particular question, I've got a bottle of water here with me deliberately to ask a question for, and I'm going to ask it whether I should be drinking that particular bottle of water at this time, on that level of simplicity. Now it's actually giving me a no, which I can understand why it's going to give me a no, because that's probably not the thing to be doing while I'm trying to record, you know, a quick pointer here with regards to how this works. So I'm going to now talk about another object I've got here, which is just a simple seashell. The very nature of how anything that comes from the sea works is because it's been in salt water, it is pretty much completely cleared down, and that is held on every level of the makeup of things like shells. So I'm going to ask my hand, you know, should I be cleansing down this seashell at this time? Now, as soon as I've had the thought of that before the words have even come out, as you can see, my hand is just moving backwards and forwards to give me a no. Now I'm going to now ask, we've just cleared this beautiful crystal here with the carnelian pendulum, so I'm going to ask my hand, as it's kind of just moving round, do I need to re-cleanse that crystal at this point? And again, it started off with a don't know, so I'm going to be more specific to the crystal so that it's aware to be able to see the crystal in a way to know which one of the few I've got here that I'm talking about. So it's now gone into no mode once again. Again, the same with the pendulum. If you're not precise with what you're telling it, and it could take that as ambiguous, it will take an ambiguous answer. So, you know, a lesson in precision with that as well. And as I say, I can do that with my whole body. If I stand still and I close my eyes and I tune into something, I can give myself a yes or a no. Or I also can still do a don't know, because at times we can be asking a question for something that really the answer isn't as simple as yes or no. Even if we're shopping and we're back to looking at these two products and saying, well, which one's better for me? Is that one better for me? It might say no. You say, well, so you make an assumption that the other one will be. But if you ask that question, it might again reiterate and go no. And you think, okay, well, that's just told me really I'm looking at the wrong product. So what's the other product I could use instead of this? And, you know, so it goes on. But it is basically linking deep into your soul essence and into something that we refer to quite commonly here as the higher soul. So we're going into that higher soul place. We're thinking, you know, where does this serve us on this particular level? These are just small tools in which to do that. So thank you very much for watching this short video. and I hope that it will help on some level for you. Blessings. Bye.